What's going on, guys? Happy Sunday. Hope everybody is doing phenomenal today. And it being Sunday, you know what time it is. Yes, it is time to do another weekly rotation. This week, I was in the mood for oud. So I pretty much stuck with bold and beautiful oud fragrances. So join me as we get into week number 14. I can't believe it's week number 14 of my whiffs of the week. Stay tuned. Cue that intro. What's going on, my beautiful fragrance family, and welcome back to My2Scents. My name is Brian, and this is the show all about boosting your confidence through the art of fragrance and becoming a lasting scent memory. Man, so I love oud fragrances, and this is the perfect time of the year. Now that it's getting cold, I love busting out these deep, rich, resinous, bold, and beautiful ouds. Oud does something to me. It boosts my mood, it boosts my confidence, it's a little challenging, and I love that about oud fragrances. I did wear a couple beginner's ouds. There's actually one fragrance in here that's not an oud fragrance. I just felt like wearing it because it's freaking awesome. Let me know some of the fragrances that you were rocking this past week. What's your scent of the day? Today, right now. If you're seeing this in the future, still, go ahead, comment. Let me know what your scent of the day is. But without further ado, it's time to get into somebody's got a bad case of the Mondays. Why does everybody keep saying that? Whiffs of the week. I'm only going to do my scents of the day, guys, just so I can keep your attention. If you would like me to do all the fragrances that I wore throughout the day, let me know. Drop me a comment down below. I just see that the retention rate is a little bit better when I just do what I rock throughout the day. And we're going to start with Monday. And Monday, it started getting cold. I mean, really cold. I woke up that morning, it was 42 degrees. I've been on an oud kick, and I'm always on an oud kick. I love oud. So I went with one of my favorites, and I went with Tom Ford's Tobacco Oud. I really wish they never discontinued this. This is a fantastic oud fragrance. It's a challenging oud fragrance, and that's what I really love about it. It's whiskey, it's oud, it's ashy tobacco. It's fantastic. You get some really nice spiciness going through it as well, but it's really based on that oud, the tobacco, and this really nice whiskey right up top. A little birdie told me, though, that Tobacco Oud might be going to the signature line. If that's the case, pretty excited about that. The longevity on it is great. Got me through the day. I actually got quite a few compliments from it, which doesn't tend to happen with Tobacco Oud. Wearing challenging fragrances really does that for me. Not only does it help boost my mood, it helps boost my confidence. I did also get quite a bit of attention of my outfit that I was wearing that day. What I was wearing helped pull those people in. They smelt what I was rocking and they enjoyed it. And that is exactly what this fragrance is supposed to do. Be a beautiful and bold oud. It's hard to find. It is, and especially at a good price, but it is, in my opinion, one of the best oud fragrances that Tom Ford has done. I love oud wood. Oud wood is fantastic, but Tobacco Oud, there's something special about it. It's classy, yet bad boy-esque. So that day I rocked Tobacco Oud. On Tuesday I was gonna rock an oud fragrance, but something caught my eye. And I went with another Tom Ford, and I went with a new Tom Ford Ombre Leather Parfum. God, I love this fragrance. Sonia Constant, the perfumer behind this, has been the perfumer on every single one of the ombre leathers, and this one right now is sitting at my favorite. I love the added tobacco in this. I really love the watery facets from the violet leaf. It's such a smooth leather fragrance. It is smooth like a baby's butt. It is freaking awesome. And again, this is an attention-grabbing leather fragrance. I was very surprised because I do have some friends who do not like leather fragrances, and I was rocking this and they were like, man, you smell really good. What is that? It's Ombre Leather Parfum. They're like, oh my God, I don't like leather fragrances. But there is something special about this. And I believe it to be the way that Sonia rounded out the edges, just made this smooth as silk, man. This is such a good fragrance. If you like the original Ombre Leather and you're scared that this one's gonna be smell a lot like it, it doesn't. I wouldn't say they're night and day, but this is just smoother. It's a little bit closer to the skin. I love both of them, but right now this one is really grabbing my heart. Boost my mood, boost my confidence, fantastic leather fragrance. So that day I rocked Ombre Leather Parfum. This is definitely going in my top 10 of designer releases this year. Wednesday, I went with an old school oud fragrance that is super cheap. It's a little challenging because it's not a sweet oud. It's a very kind of musky, spicy oud. And it's Jacque Bogart, one man show oud edition. The one thing I will say, you gotta keep the the sprayer right there in the middle, if you turn it at all, it sprays weird. I really enjoy this oud. I got this for like 19 bucks, maybe cheaper than that. I wouldn't call this a beginner's oud, and this is definitely not a natural oud, but it's kind of old school oud. It's got kind of that musky, dusty, animalic, not really barnyardy oud, but it's animalic. It's got a little bit of barnyardiness to it, not overly barnyardy. I believe there to be some patchouli that is adding just a little bit of sweetness to it, but it's a really good oud. I'm not going to say this is going to be attention grabbing, but this is a cozy oud. I enjoy getting wafts of myself throughout the day. I wouldn't say this is blind buy safe whatsoever, because it is a little challenging. But in my opinion, if you're looking at getting into more challenging ouds, this is a great avenue to go because it's cheap. It's stupid cheap. Not the best oud and very synthetic, but it's good. On Wednesday, I went with One Man Show, Oud Edition. Now we're moving into Thursday. Thursday was stupid cold. I mean, it was stupid cold. It only got up to 46 for the high. And I wanted to go with a newer oud, actually just came out, and it's Homme from Centauri. I really am digging this oud fragrance. This is very expensive, very expensive. This is coming from Peter, who's another YouTuber. I've tried a couple of Centauri fragrances, and this one is by far my favorite out of the bunch that I've tried. I really like these bottles. They're little 30 ml bottles. They're, again, like I said, quite expensive. But the oud in this is extremely cozy. It's got a nice spiciness to it. It's got a really nice natural Thai oud in it that has a little bit of funk behind it, a little bit of barnyardiness. It isn't super challenging, though to some I could see it being quite challenging. The frankincense in it warms it up, gives it some nice depth. It's a little church-like frankincense, but not overly churchy. But there's also added smoke, some patchouli, and this is a nice, rich, dry patchouli. It's quite dark. This whole fragrance is quite warming and dark and cozy. It kind of wraps you in like a sweater. It's a really good oud fragrance. I'm going to be doing a full review on it because even though I think this is expensive, in my opinion, I think it's really worth it. This is a very natural smelling fragrance, though there are quite a few synthetics using it as well. Good 8-hour fragrance, made it through my workday. I didn't get any attention from it, but I don't freaking care. I wear fragrances for me to boost my mood and boost my confidence. So that ends Thursday. Now we're moving on to Friday. Friday, I went with oud again, and I went with Rirana, Black Wood. Show you the bottom there. It says it on the bottom. The only thing I don't like about Rirana fragrances is you got to pick them up to see what the fragrance is. You can't really differentiate by the bottle because they all look the same except one, cherry on top, which is red strain. This is a nice beginner's oud. Very nice beginner's oud. I think Tom Ford's oud would. A little bit more mysterious, a little bit more based on around that oud, but this has got a little bit of freshness to it. Not as much freshness as Tom Ford's oud wood does. This is a little bit darker and richer. It's a creamy oud. It's got a little bit of spiciness flowing through it, but it's really just based around that nice, creamy, oudy, woody goodness. This thing is phenomenal. This is a creamy, mysterious oud fragrance that I thoroughly enjoy. Long lasting. I mean, I was getting wafts of this 10 hours throughout my day. If you want to get into ouds, Blackwood is a fantastic route. If you don't want to pay super top dollar for Tom Ford's oud wood, this is a good avenue. They don't smell exactly the same whatsoever. They go in completely different directions, but I can see how this would get compared to Tom Ford's oud wood. I actually like this one just a little bit better. I know that's blasphemous. You're like, what? I know, throw the lightning bolts at me. It's longer lasting. It's a little bit more challenging. It's a little bit more warm and resinous and deep and dark and bold and beautiful. Fantastic fragrance. I really love rocking it. So that day I rocked Rirana Blackwood. Going into Saturday. Man, I wanted to wear one that I've only worn once. I picked it up pretty much right after it was released. It's brand new to 2021. And it's Amouage, Boundless. This is not my favorite Amouage. Now, I love Amouage. I think this is a great fragrance. I really like the blood orange at the top, the nice booziness that it starts out with. But the one thing that this fragrance really does, and the notes that really stick to your skin the longest, are gonna be that notorious and infamous frankincense, incense, myrrh, because all this does in the full dry down is kind of spicy, woody, a little bit of cedar, and you're gonna get a lot of that frankincense. And it's the frankincense that Amouage is known for, so it smells really good. That's all I really get from this. The opening lasts for about 15-20 minutes, and then it starts transitioning a little bit, and then it just goes quite linear through the dry down. It smells really good. It doesn't project a lot off my skin. It stays quite close to the skin. Jubilation 25 and Black Iris are my two favorites from the house. This one is really good, but I don't even think it would be in my top 5. I'm gonna put some more wear into it. It does have a really nice tobacco in the dry down, but it kind of gets covered up a little bit by that spicy incense and then a lot of the woodiness. Though it's good, and it lasts for frickin' ever, it just doesn't project. It stays quite intimate. But so far, it's a good fragrance. It's not a love for me yet, but Saturday I rocked Amouage Boundless. So it's Sunday, and I also am going with another oud fragrance I just picked up. Franck Olivier, Oud Vanille. Wow. All I can say is wow. It smells fantastic. Bradley, you're right. On skin, it is a nice, sweet rose. It's kind of a candied rose. The vanilla is beautiful off my skin. It's actually, I get the vanilla right off the bat, but there is some nice, slightly animalic oud in it. It is synthetic, but it's not an overpowering oud. It kind of just gives it this really nice, soft suppleness. All the other notes just mix together really nicely. There's a slight spiciness through it, but it's good, man. This is really good, especially for the price I got this at. $21, I think. I can't remember if this was 21 or 20 and some change. Fantastic. I've had it on now for 5 hours and it is still banging. I didn't spray this on my clothes. I only sprayed this on skin. This is really stinking good. Definitely a great beginner's oud. It's got just enough sweetness. It's got some nice spiciness, just a little bit of funk for you, and it's really nice candied rose. Awesome fragrance. This is what I'm going to be rocking all day because I don't think this is going to be leaving my skin anytime soon. All right, guys, so that was week number 14 of my whiffs of the week. I can't believe we've already been 14 weeks into it. I really appreciate all of you who showed up this past Monday, to do my whiffs of the week live. If you enjoyed doing that, drop me a comment down below and I'll do it more often. I'm also thinking about doing one live a week, but I'm going to throw that up on the community tab. Let me know what you were rocking throughout the week. If you want to leave your entire weekly rotation, then go ahead. If you want to just tell me what your scent of the day is, go ahead and do that as well. I appreciate all your love and support, guys. But that's it for me. I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day. If you enjoyed today's episode, then don't forget, like, comment, share, and subscribe. And always remember, you are stinking beautiful. And until next time, happy scent trails.